Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're checking out another brand new Fallout 4 mod, and today I'm very excited to be bringing you this video because we're taking a look at probably one of my favorite mods that we've made yet. And we've made a lot of mods that I like a lot, so that's not saying a ton, but it is another New Vegas classic with a bit of a twist that we've remade for Fallout 4. We're checking out the 12.7mm SMG from Fallout New Vegas, redesigned and brought into Fallout 4. Now, there are technically a few 12.7mm mods out there already. There's only one, I believe, that actually comes with the correct custom animations, and that's by Blones. Ours is actually going to utilize those animations as a base, and then Mac has edited them. We already went and got perms for all of that, so don't you worry. That is all on the up and up, and we have changed and tweaked some of those to add a couple of new additions and some fixes as well, because we did run into some issues while trying to implement them into our mod. Now, this is going to have its own cool set of unique attachments for it, which is something that the 12.7 SMG needs desperately. On its own, it is a pretty cool gun, but you cannot deny its big, boxy, and to some ugly nature that it had in New Vegas. So it has a nice little bit of a facelift here in the form of attachments. You can absolutely get this thing as close to one-to-one as you can with the attachment system to make it look just like it did in New Vegas. There is only like one major design difference between that one and ours. But besides that, it's pretty dang close. But you can, of course, add attachments as well to make it something totally new and different using the Fallout 4 weapon modification system to its fullest. Of course, ours is going to come with all the bells and whistles that any modern weapon mod should have, and that's going to include a bunch of attachments, the leveledless integration that allows this to spawn on enemies out in the world and purchasable from vendors. There's also a unique version of this weapon with its own unique aesthetic as well as effect that makes it special. And there's a bunch of other cool little goodies like custom loading screens. It is ESL flagged, so you don't have to worry about this taking up a spot in your load order. It has custom third-person animations on top of the first person and something really cool for power armor that I really want to show you guys. And much, much more, including a custom turret. Not something you knew you needed, but there is a 12.7 SMG turret in this mod that you can build at your settlement, so that's pretty freaking cool. A little bit more into the specifics, if you do want to find this weapon, like I said, it is added to the leveled list. You can pick it up off of Gunners and the Brotherhood of Steel, and it also drops as a legendary weapon too. If you kill a legendary enemy, you may find this with its own legendary effect. And you can purchase it from vendors, and all of that will happen after level 36, a bit of a late game weapon, considering it is a 12.7 SMG. It was a late game weapon in New Vegas as well. Now, this thing does have two different versions. There is a munitions version, which has this chambered in 12.7, which, man, why are you downloading a 12.7 SMG if you're not going to put it in 12.7? But just for those of you who are out there, and there are some of you out there who want a vanilla version, that exists as well, and it is available there in 44. I've already had one comment thanking us for the vanilla version, which, I mean, more power to you guys. I'm glad that we can provide a version that is better for your load order. But it is confusing why your 12.7 SMG doesn't use 12.7. I could sit on this for a while, so let's just move on. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, so I think we might as well just jump in-game so we can show off all of the really cool animations, talk about the stats, and show off some of the fun attachments as well. And don't forget that unique. There will be a spoiler mark section for that as well. Alright, let's just jump straight into stats so we can get to the fun stuff. This thing has a base damage of like 40. It shoots 12.7mm ammunition, again with munitions. 44 if you're vanilla. It has a fire rate of about 90. It's a little weird, and we had to tweak this a lot because there was something in play with the animations versus the fire rate. Super weird, but it shoots slow and chonky just like it did in New Vegas. It has a range of 161, an accuracy of 62, a weight of 7.3 pounds, which honestly that tracks. This thing is massive, and a value of 263 caps. Now, for all intents and purposes, this is going to be the 12.7 SMG that you remember, but the one thing that we did change, or I guess maybe two things. First of all, there's only one design change, which is we moved the iron sight to the rear. Normally it's up here for the animations to not clip so much with our scope rail, and quite frankly, we just found it more usable this way. We moved them to the back, and honestly, I don't think it looks bad. If anything, I think it might look a little better. But if you really hate it, you can scooch those up in NIF scope. Do whatever you're going to do. Now, the other thing is we did not necessarily emphasize this, but We wanted to imagine this as sort of a power armor SMG since it is big and chunky. And so because of that, when I go check out the animations here, we're actually going to have to check out a power armor animation section that we don't normally do because they are actually different than they are from the normal animations. So pretty fun stuff in store. So for the animations, like I said, these things are fully custom and they have to be for a weapon like this. You can't really make do with anything in vanilla. Let's go ahead and check out the custom sounds and animations, and then I have a silence version so we can check out the silent sounds as well. A perfect little set of animations. It even comes with its own bash. That is one-handed like a pistol, which is interesting, but it actually makes sense for one of the attachments available at the weapons workbench. We do also have a suppressed version like I mentioned previously. And that's our smaller magazine, so it burns out a bit quicker. And I think it has a different bash. Yeah, when you do equip a stock, you do actually bash correctly. So pretty neat. There's different animations for that depending on what you have attached to the weapon. But yeah, those are the animations. Now let's quickly talk about the unique... Oh wait, I'm wrong. Power armor animations. There are some pretty special things going on there, so let's go ahead and get this back and really look at how we're holding this wonderful weapon before we get into this power armor here, because it's going to be a little bit different. And now that we're in, you'll see that we one-hand this thing in power armor, and that is so freaking cool. It was a surprise to me. I didn't know it was going to be like that until I tried it out myself, and man, it's so sweet. This thing is awesome. And the animations there look flawless, and it works in third person as well. So when you're using this weapon in power armor in third person, you one-hand it because it's small enough that power armor could totally do that, but a person, maybe not so much. Overall, a super, super cool addition to this mod. Now then, let's talk about the unique available in this mod. It is known as the Sandman. This is going to be essentially the Commonwealth weaponry take on Sleepy Time from Fallout New Vegas. Sleepy Time was an all-black silent version of the 10mm SMG. Same idea, this time on 12.7. Since we don't like remaking New Vegas uniques, it gives us an opportunity to pay homage to them on different guns. So when we do a 10mm SMG, if we ever do one, it won't have a Sleepy Time unique. There'll definitely be an homage to it in the form of attachments, but it won't be a one-to-one unique. But in this case, we have something very similar. This thing is going to do more damage during the night and less damage during the day, so it has the Nocturnal Legendary effect. And it comes with an integrally suppressed barrel, which is not available for any other versions of this weapon. This is the only one that gets to have this suppressed barrel. You can have a regular suppressor, but the suppressed barrel is unique right here. And if you want to get your hands on this one, it is sold by Proctor Teagan over on the Brotherhood airship. Now let's talk attachments over at the weapons workbench. Here's a pretty standard version of what this thing looks like in New Vegas. It only has one upgrade from our mod, which is the extended magazine. Otherwise, this thing's looking pretty stock. But you can, of course, attach all kinds of fun stuff to this thing to make it a bit different and pretty cool in my opinion. So let's check all those out. Receivers are standard up through powerful, your typical automatic only selection. For barrels, we have the short barrel like New Vegas, but we also have a long barrel, braced barrel, ported barrel, and finned barrel. We have some stock options. Default is no stock, but we can add a full stock. That makes this thing look a little bit more like a proper rifle or SMG. We also have a light stock, a recoil compensating stock, and a marksman's stock. Overall, some pretty fun options. I can't really choose which one I like the best because I think they all have their own cool and unique look to them. So it really comes down to personal preference, or maybe you build a couple of these and have them around to change out depending on your mood. We do have the option for magazines. We have the standard magazine, which is not the standard one from New Vegas. It's actually a bit smaller. And as you can see, it kind of bulges at the back here, but it remains pretty low and flat everywhere else. And then the stacked version of that is the bigger, more traditional one from New Vegas. And there are quick eject versions of both of those as well. For sights, we have our standard iron sights. We have some glow iron sights, which are pretty hefty glow sights. They remind me of the old Halo shotgun, so that's pretty fun. We do have a dot, hollow, and reflex like normal, except this time they all feature brand new models. We did make this set of optics a long time ago, and we've been waiting for the right gun to use them on. We intend for them to be a little bit more futuristic and techy, but not necessarily modern and tactical, more for weird sci-fi guns like this one. So here is our dot sight with a purple lens and yellow reticle, based on a real... I actually don't remember the name of this thing. I think it's a Thompson sort of optic. I believe that is the manufacturer, which is pretty crazy. The hollow sight is a fictional design made by somebody here in our Discord. I'm sadly blanking on the name as I record, but you know who you are. It was a wonderful concept art, and I made it almost as soon as you posted it because I liked it so dang much, and now it finally made its way into this mod. And then the reflex is based on the old MP7 reflex prototype from the prototype MP7 that you can actually see in one other video game that I know of, which is Half-Life 2. So that's pretty fun. And I guess technically Half-Life Alyx. We also have a laser sight, a combat scope, a short scope, and a medium scope, as well as night vision, recon, and thermal. For muzzles, we have the option for no muzzle, a flash hider, a compensator, muzzle booster, muzzle brake, which is a pretty fun and chunky design that I like on this weapon a lot, and a suppressor that is sort of similar to the suppressor from New Vegas, so you can have it look a bit like it did in that game. Then finally, the one section that New Vegas actually did technically have is the accessory slot. Now, things are going to look a little bit different here, starting off with our bayonet, which is not really a bayonet at all. This is where those big slashy animations come in handy, because this is really, really fun. There's a big axe handle on the front of this thing that I think is pretty neat. We also have a mounted on flashlight, laser sight, and VATS targeting module. Overall, a good bit of customization for this thing that allow you to make some pretty fun and wacky combos, just perfect for your game. So yeah, guys, that is our 12.7mm SMG. I hope you enjoy it because I know I enjoyed making it. It's a lot of fun to work on, and I love weird and wacky guns like this that allow me to express my creativity and come up with new stuff that hasn't been done before. With that, if you would like to try out this mod for yourself, it is actually linked right down in the description below, so you can click that and check it out over on Nexus immediately. And if there isn't already, there's probably an Xbox port either already out or coming soon. Additionally, if you'd like to support my work in a more direct fashion, you can drop this video a like or drop the mod an endorsement if you liked either of them. And even further than that, if you are crazy enough, you can donate to me on Patreon. That is, of course, completely optional. By no means should you feel like you need to. Just there for those of you crazy enough who want to. Once again, I hope you guys enjoy the video and enjoy the mod, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!